So, I would like to talk about the cards that I use, the tools that I use to do the readings and sessions that I do to help other people. So, when I started reading cards many years ago, I had a few decks of tarot cards, and I don't know, they just somehow didn't, at that point in my life, they didn't resonate with me. Um, then I came upon some oracle cards, most of which were angel cards, and um, I started using them, and I started reading for myself and reading for people I knew, and they really worked for me. And I used them for years. I used them at events, and I used them at home. I used them for friends, and I did private readings. I did readings in shops, and they always had an amazing message for people, and I really felt like I was helping when I used these tools. When the creator of some of those tools decided to change their own belief system, it was shocking, and it took me a little while before I could, you know, let that sink in and settle, and finally come to a place where I realized that I had used these tools for years. I had done so much good, I felt, with these tools. These oracle cards helped so many people. And, some people talk about tarot cards and say, well, I want to have a reading with tarot cards because they tell it like it is, and they don't sugarcoat, like a lot of people use that cliche. I don't sugarcoat when I do my readings. Well, that's good for the people that it works for. For me, um, I found that sometimes people were frightened by those images, which was the reason that the creator of these other oracle cards created the cards that I use. And so that's how I started using those cards, and that's how I felt comfortable with those cards, and I watched them help a lot of people. So after going all through this whole process of using them and not using them, and should I use them, and should I believe in them anymore, what if the energies changed because the creator of these decks has changed their belief system, and it took a long time before I came to my own conclusions about it and why they work, and if I should use them. So at this point, after years of using them, they've become my tools, and they contain my energy, and they also contain the energy of the original intention of those tools. And so as I continue to use them, and as I, see more about what people do to resolve their blocks to success, when I watch, the people who are famous for helping people, they do talks and, TED Talks, and they're world famous people who are, motivational speakers and that sort of thing. And they talk about removing the blocks to success. One of the things that they talk about is, really believing in yourself, using positive affirmations, and using positive words and thoughts to change things, to bring positive things to you. And that's what these cards do as well. So all of these decks that I've used them for years. I've worn out the boxes. Like they've just been they've been great tools in helping a lot of people. So that's what I just wanted to put out there, because there's been so much talk, and there's been a lot of negative talk around it. And, should we use them? Shouldn't we use them? And this is why I'm going to continue to use these cards. Now, I also have other cards that I've integrated into the readings, and those are really meshing well also. And, you know, one of them is a type of a tarot. It's very different from original types. Another one is an oracle deck. So there are so many different kinds of decks to use, and what happens is as you use them, the ones that you can connect with yourself, um, they become a mesh with your energy, and you take the messages from them that you learn to take from them, and they take on their own meaning for each person who uses them. The reader or the owner of the decks, you know, they learn to read the symbols and the cards and interpret them their own way. So they become your own deck. And what happens is, for a lot of us, I think, for myself personally, is that looking into these cards, they become a mind key. It's a place to focus your attention and go into the mind space that you need to be in to receive the intuitive messages for the person that you're doing the session for, or even for yourself. It's always easier to read for other people. It's easier to stand back and look at other people's situations and see them with more clarity. Reading for yourself, it seems to be, for me, always more difficult because it's not a situation where you're unbiased. So it's always a little more challenging to read for yourself or to read for people that you know, as opposed to someone that you've never met, because you know 100% that what you're getting as intuitive messages is free and clear of any judgment and bias that you've already got in place in relation to that person or their situations. So these are the things that I wanted to share, and you know, to help people understand maybe why I still use these tools in my work. And I hope that, you know, this brings about some understanding of why I do it, maybe why other people still do, and most of all, to know that no matter what the tools that I use, the messages will still come through, and I'll still be able to help you. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Many blessings to everyone.